Hi there, my name is Chrissy, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to continue on with the haunting of Bly Manor. So the last time on Bly Manor we finally came to a head with the two kids, Miles and Flora, and the ghosts of Peter and Rebecca. Peter has permanently taken over Miles' body, and we were led to believe that Flora was taken over by Rebecca. But in the end, Rebecca chose not to possess Flora, instead telling her to lie to Miles, who is now Peter, so Danny could get her out of there and off the property. At the end, unfortunately, Danny was snatched and taken away by the Lady of the Lake. I think the whole episode was an insight into how Peter came to be the kind of man that he is, very manipulative. He came from an abusive childhood, and the memory that he kept getting tucked away into was of his mother basically being the catalyst into asking him to steal the money from Henry. It shows how he not only manipulated Rebecca into being with him forever, stuck at Bly, but manipulating the children into giving them their bodies by dangling the promise of them seeing their parents again in the forever house. Also, Hannah has finally come to terms for the fact that she is dead and she has said the words, so let's see how that plays out too. So we're going to get straight into the next episode and see what happens. Let's do it.
Women in that time had nothing. No present, no future, without a tie to a man. So they were as little girls once more, but now with nothing in the world but each other. He was an honest, resolute, intelligent young man, rich in pounds sterling, in his health and comfortable hopes, and his little capital of uninvested affections. Viola had made certain to be absent when he arrived. This left Perdita to entertain the travelled cousin, while Viola bode her time, and in doing so learned he was a gentleman.
I like how they're not speaking, you can't even see their mouths moving.
Viola explained she was late because of a dispute over uncollected rents. In fact, every detail of Viola's entrance was a pageant. He may marry her, or marry her sister, but there should be no mistake in the true authority of Bly Manor. The wedding was a small affair, fitting the business arrangement that it was.
For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love, cherish, till death us to part.
And obey, to love, cherish, and obey.
Yeah, no.
The transaction done, the business concluded, the manor saved, young Viola turned her eyes inward. She would sleep, she would wake, she would walk. Viola found that under its purpose, her marriage may have some amount of love to it after all.
Bly belongs to you, and they will try to take it from you as they did me. It is you. It is me.
Do I sense a little bit of
It is us.
something with Perdita?
As for Viola, her
Oh dear.
suspicion began as small, as inconsequential as the tickle in her lungs.
Like tuberculosis or something? Huh. Ghost from the very beginning and the plague mask?
Months at the most. And I would keep her separate from the rest of you.
Our daughter. She cannot sleep without her mother.
Separate.
Of course, leeches. Bloodletting.
and all things exhausted, their vicar came again to Bly.
I do not go.
Welcome's our home.
God should know better. She is as he made her. If she says she will not go, she will not.
That is
Time
that
paid
is a
her no
bond
mind,
right there.
dazed,
Right to
round
the end.
and round the
We need sleep.
Oh, you're just an awful bore.
Who am I?
Do you even know how to dance?
Oh,
Viola had surpassed the predictions of the
she's
physicians
still
and
alive.
priests alike.
Mummy, you're awake.
Isabel, you know you must not get too close to Mummy, darling.
Vi, what are you doing out of bed? You'll catch a chill.
I didn't want to miss the ball.
Ugh. Oh no.
If he looks at me now and then, it is because he is lonely and he is human. Think of Isabel. What will she be left with? What memories of you will she carry? Will it be this version of you? Because Viola, with love, let it be anything else.
Oh.
My rings and my lace and my silk, they will be a great inheritance for our daughter. Do you promise me, Arthur?
I promise you.
Perdita beheld her sister. A thought occurred to her. The word had come to her a full year prior, and now the word crept down her shoulder and her elbow.
What are you
until
doing?
the word came to live in her hand. And the word was a lie.
Oh dear.
The word had always been enough.
Yep.
For 6 months after his return, the prediction did not come true. For in Perdita's eyes, he felt an echo of Viola's. They were married, as was becoming, with great privacy, almost with secrecy.
Oh dear. Yeah, did you see that?
She had long since ascertained that her sister's immense wardrobe had been sequestered for the benefit of her daughter. And thus, on the 6th anniversary of Viola's death, Perdita had reached her limit.
The house is in disrepair. Our financials a disaster. We have the solution above our heads.
Sell it off?
We cannot even afford a housekeeper anymore, and above us locked away are silks, jewels, and linens.
It is out of the question, and I shall be gravely displeased if you return to the matter.
Wow.
Of this.
She's gonna do it anyway, isn't she? I would love to know what colour her dress is. If it's reddish. Because I'm getting an awfully familiar vibe of the ghost that Peter pulled out in front of the kids. Like, was that her? You're done for, lady. Yep. Fuck! That was really clever. And creepy. His arms. Ugh. Holy shit.
She would sleep. She would wake. She would walk.
Oh.
Sleeping.
Is it once the
Waking.
chest is open, her door opens?
One day the locks would see their keys, and one day Isabel would open her mother's trunk
Oh.
and claim her reward.
It's not gonna be who you think it is. now she's free.
They would move away from here, sell the manor and find a quieter life, a smaller one, made only for the two of them. The two of them and also Viola. They were leaving Bly, leaving most of what remained of their belongings. A reward for all these years of isolation. But Arthur had grown a superstitious man and had seen the horror on Perdita's lifeless face.
Oh dear.
And once again, she would sleep. She would wake.
Wow.
And she would walk.
You mustn't be in this wing without protection.
Yep. Oh. See the ghost?
Doctor died. So he was immediately forgotten. It seemed her invented gravity that held her to the grounds. It would hold others too. Wake, walk, forget even more. Her name, forgotten. Her sister's name, forgotten. As her memories left her, so too, her face. But one night she found a child in her daughter's old bed and could not remember who she had been hoping to see. Child. Must be the child whom she'd sought. Must. And the others, too. Those souls held in her orbit. Those unfortunates trapped in the gravity well she had made of Bly Manor. They were fading as well. A fate that befell Viola's once sister.
It was her.
Now forgotten in the attic. A fate that befell a poor valet so many years later. No hope for anyone with the sad misfortune to die on the grounds of Bly. No hope for the victims of Bly, be they victims of fate or vice. And no hope, it would seem, for the young au pair, who had finally stepped into the path of her own fate.
No, you can't stop it there, god damn it. No, we were just fuck. We were just getting going. We were just catching up to the previous episode. Oh my god. Well, there we go. That was episode 8 of The Haunting of Bly Manor. Just as it started to get going and you're going to find out what happened to Danny, the episode stopped. I can't believe, 56 minutes have gone by so quickly. We finally get an answer as to who this faceless ghost is. I remember way back in one of the other episodes when Flora was doing the rubbings on the floor of the church and it had Viola Lloyd there. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned at the time, Viola Lloyd, who was that? And obviously, I'm guessing she had TB. TB is what she contracted. And after years of suffering with it, Perdita also suffering because of it, thanks to having to look after her sister for all these years and daughter. She wanted to end it. I think she wanted to end it as the narrator was saying, not out of mercy to help Viola, but because she'd had enough. When Viola was awoken after she was dead and she was stuck in that room, I love how they made that the trunk with her clothing, and that it wasn't until her daughter would one day open that trunk of clothing that she would be free to see her again. I liked that. I liked how those two became the one thing, became symbols of each other. Of course, once Perdita was one that opened it, not only did it unleash a very angry Viola, it left her with the ability to kill Perdita. And Also, I did have a little inkling in the back of my mind when the narrator was talking about how after all this time, the husband had started to believe in superstition. I knew then that they weren't going to keep that trunk, that they were going to get rid of it. And it didn't occur to me to think that they were going to throw it in the lake until it actually happened, which, you know, is how she became the Lady of the Lake. But I loved it. What a great backstory. I love that she would come every night from the bottom of the lake, walked right through the house to the bed, her daughter's bed, and then back again. And basically anyone that got in her way, which we also found out earlier in the season, that if you crossed her path, you were done for. And her absolute stubbornness to give in and pass on after death has become such, as they said, a huge gravity well that it's sucked all the other people that have died on the property into her gravity well, and now they can't leave either. And I'm guessing that if they are able to get her to, relinquish her grasp and reluctance to pass on, that the rest will be able to be free of this place as well. Considering the kind of program this is, and considering how the Haunting of Hill House ended, like, why would they get rid of the ghosts for? I'm sure that it will be the people that leave and the ghosts will stay behind. I think that's how it's going to end. But, I could be completely wrong. Though we will find out next week, because it is the last episode next week. Oh, I can't wait. So we're going to leave it there for today. Thank you for watching with me. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And we'll see you next week for the season finale. Bye.